thinking I'm scamming. So as you can see, thank y'all for supporting the lives. Because of you, I could afford to get my dusty beard shaved. But as you know, the last few days, I've been getting a fair amount of criticism for some of the things that I've been saying. And I think that for the sake of debate and clarity, I can't address everything. I can't address all of what somebody is saying. Some of these things are being said in bad faith. But I think there are partitions of things that I can address, okay? What up, Doug? And that is when being critical about what's happening in Africa or being critical about the relationship between Africans and Black Americans, you typically hear, number one, you are causing the division between Africans. So if you have a particular point you want to make, for example, Dr. Ericana has a history of scamming. She got fired from the African Union for scamming. Dr. Umar Johnson is scamming. Okay. The response is you are causing division amongst blacks, and we do not need that division between blacks and Africans. Now, the reason why I want to address this point because it is the most common point that I have heard in these discussions, which I believe is somewhat of a scapegoat point or a way to, move the goalpost. But let's talk about this particular point because I've heard that. I've heard that this isn't the best time. This is the wrong time to have this discussion. Let's stick with the first discussion. If you're critical of a problem you have with other Black Americans or a problem that you have with Africans. Now, let me just say this. If we are lying on somebody in the Black diaspora, in the Black world, in the Black community, how y'all doing, everybody? I'm trying to just keep on going with the stream because people listen to the streams on the replay, and I don't want them to hear me just, shouting out random names. But thank you for being here. If we are lying on somebody, we're bringing information on somebody, on somebody's community that is an outright lie. We should never do that. Okay? As Black people, I don't care if you do not like a particular group of people in the Black world. If you don't like Black Americans, if you don't like Ghanaians, if you don't like Nigerians, if you don't like Black Canadians, you should not come and just throw an exact lie on a particular person because you don't like them. For example, Dr. Ericana is a killer, or Dr. Ericana is this. Now, based on just because I don't like her to throw that on her, it's not fair. That is a bold-faced lie, and that is defamatory. Okay? However, if I say Dr. Ericana has a long history of scamming, nepotism, seat holding, gatekeeping, tyrannical behavior, okay? Disrespecting protocol in the African Union. This is her history. It can be backed up with evidence. And this evidence, if we see, is happening from 2019, from when she got fired from the African Union, and we see evidence of that now with the ADDI. And somebody addresses that point. And then if the response from the individual ignores what I'm talking about, and then you say, you see, you guys are agents. You see, y'all Black Americans are hashtag FBAs or hashtag whatever it is. You guys are divisive. You guys don't care about the Black diaspora. This kind of behavior needs to be addressed because now you're talking about something else that somebody else is not talking about, which is we're talking about a behavior for somebody who's hurting the diaspora, whether that part of that diaspora be Black Americans, You have Nigerians in the diaspora. You have Caribbeans in the diaspora. All of these people are targets of scams. Now somebody says here, you need to call out the Ugandan president. If the Ugandan president was involved in diaspora scams, I would address it. The Ugandan president has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. He is not Dr. Arikana. When Museveni has a scam against black Americans, I would address it. He does not. He is not guilty of that. Everybody wants to talk about something else than what we're talking about, which is a bunch of emotionalism, and it doesn't make sense. And this is one of the problems in the black world, when you are bringing facts, evidence on somebody's behavior, and then somebody says you always trying to bring somebody black down. Why are you trying to bring somebody black down? Well, then let me ask you a question. What's going on? Go back to Gary Africa. You made a great video, my brother. What about the victims of these scams that are being brought down? Can we address that? If you want to say that somebody like myself or Go Black to Africa, who I've met, he'll tell you, okay? He is an upstanding man. When we try to bring knowledge to people or give them a voice of how they've been mistreated, people easily want to flip that as you are warring with Africans or you are beefing with Africans. What happens is that person that is being scammed could be a black American, it could be a Ghanaian, and it could be an African culprit. In this case, if it's an African culprit who is committing the scam, what you simply see is somebody just addressing what this person has done. It don't have to be about that person's a Nigerian, that person's Ugandan or Ghanaian or whatever else. We're talking about what that person specifically did. And then the response is you're trying to pull somebody black down. And this is causing division between blacks and Africans. This is the textbook playbook that you see that happens in pan-scamming. Pan-scamming is all about avoiding accountability. We should all be together. We should all be on one accord. You should be bringing people together. That's right. We should be bringing people together who are scamming. We should be bringing people together who are perpetual victims of fraud, abuse, and being negligent. That's what pan-scamming is about. It's not pan-Africanism. At that point, it's pan-scamming. So let us avoid all of the people who trusted some entity and they got abused, simply empowering this entity or this person, in this case, ADDI, to continue said behavior. And then consider that these people are going to be okay with the fact that we've ignored their gripes. Then this is what happens in the black world. Those people become what you guys call sellouts. They become Brandon Tatum. They become Candace Owens. They become anti-black. Okay? They go to Fox News. They go to all these things. And like you guys know, I'm a registered Republican. Vote for the right. Don't mean that I wouldn't vote for the left. I'm a pro-black first. But I'm a registered Republican. I don't care if you don't like it. If you don't like it, kiss my ass. That don't mean that I won't vote independent. That don't mean that, but I'm a pro-black first. Being pro-black over, and y'all got to get over because somebody's a Republican, they ain't pro-black. Okay? When those people become disgruntled with black America and they become sellouts, it's the pro-black community that typically do that. The pro-black community are responsible for creating raccoons, as you guys call them. Why do we create our own raccoons? Because when somebody is harmed, we protect the people who harm them. You can look at sexual abuse in the pro-black community. Dr. Malachi York, Brother Polite, the victims are somehow guilty. Young women, young children, we protect the people that do the scams. Look at Dr. Umar Johnson. Dr. Umar Johnson scammed many people. He is still protected. And somehow, if you calling out him, you trying to bring a black person down. And then them people, they get tired of the black community. They get white husbands and white wives. They completely change and pivot a 180. And then now at the same time, they are sellouts. And I'm talking about specifically in the Pan-African spaces. The reason why I don't want to address groups like the Freedmans, hashtag FBAs, hashtag ADOSs, it has nothing to do with you don't want to get no smoke with Tariq or anything like that. The reason why I'm not addressing those people is because they're not Pan-Africans. They've already told us they're not Pan-Africans. They don't want to participate in Pan-Africans. So the other arguments that comes into the play is, why don't you address Museveni? Why don't you address the Freedmans? Why don't you address ADOSs? Simply, they've already told you that they do not participate in Pan-Africanism or in the movement. So therefore, they have already removed themselves from this equation. So FBA can't be blamed for what happens in the Pan-African community. They are not participants. Now, you do have some people that have FBA as a lineage that may be here, but those who really hard body hashtag FBA, those people are not really with Pan-Africanism. Hashtag ADOS is not really with Pan-Africanism. Those people who really push that, they're really not with that. So they don't have nothing to do with what happened with Dr. Arikana. It's the people who profess to be Pan-Africanists that are the problem. In this community, we're not talking about people who are black conservatives like Candace Owens. They're not in Pan-Africanism. People like the Hodge twins are not in Pan-Africanism. People like Officer Tatum are not in Pan-Africanism. But Dr. Arikana is in Pan-Africanism. Dr. Umar Johnson is in Pan-Africanism. Those are things you can control. So when you address those things, people want to drag out, well, what about Tariq? And well, what about this person? What about Dr. Arikana? Not only is she in Pan-Africanism, she is a high-profile figure in Pan-Africanism. Tariq Nasheed is not a part of Pan-Africanism. Yvette Carnell is not a part of Pan-Africanism. They are not a part of this community. They're not in Kenya. They're not in Uganda. They don't live in Africa. They have no interest in living in Africa. Again, it's a way to move the goalposts. Let me go to the second argument. The second argument goes like this. This is simply the wrong time to talk about this. Okay? This is simply the wrong time. You hear this all the time. I wonder if Brother Go Back to Africa has heard that. This is the wrong time to bring this up. And the reason why it's the wrong time to bring this up, because we are at a crucial time right now in the black world where tensions are high between black Americans and Africans. Now, here's why I would say the tensions are more higher than before. The tensions are higher than before because we are now interacting with each other more than we had to before. Okay? With African governments welcoming blacks back, you have second and third generational Africans that have grew up around black Americans. So, of course, as they move into cities like Atlanta, New York City, Black Philadelphia, you're going to come in contact with these people. So obviously tensions are going to become either better or worse. But my question is to these people who have that fundamental question. It's not a good time. Well, is it a good time when an African scam a black American? Is it a good time if an African person, such as Dr. Arikana, runs a scam on black Americans? Is it a good time for her to do that? There are many people that are victims of scams. Some by black Americans, some by Hebrew Israelites, some by everything. And when the scammer, whoever it is, wants to run a scam on somebody, it's always a good time to run the scam. It's always a good time to be deceitful. Again, protecting criminals and then ignoring those people who have been harmed by the crime. So was it a good time for Dr. Arikana to do what she did? Of course, because a scammer is always a good time to come up. Dr. Eric Kana been scamming. This is not new. So then here's what happens. Once they get scammed and it gets back to your Yvette Carnels, once it gets scammed, if you get back to your Tariqs, you get back to the Freedmans, you get back to the people on Twitter, then yeah, they're gonna run with it. They're gonna run with it because why? The Pan-Africans who love the community don't want to have no accountability for people who are harmed. Because people who talk out that are harmed are looked at as victims, or troublemakers rather. They are looked at as troublemakers. And so what happens is you get people who become annoyed or have chagrin toward the other group. And so then what typically happens also, I'm telling you, is that a lot of times black Americans get blamed. And I'm going to tell you, Africa in general, this is not me hating on Africa. Africa thrives as a continent on no accountability at all. Between Africa and black America, the lack of accountability in Africa is way higher. The shit that somebody can get away with in Africa will literally get your ass whooped in America. Press 1 if I'm lying. Okay? Now, I'm going to tell you, press 1. Like the way people just cut you in line in Uganda, I'm pretty sure in Uganda, somebody just cut you at the mobile money. The shit that people do here will get you literally knocked it'll get your teeth knocked all the way out in America. Quickly, in a hurry. It don't take long. The shit that people do here in Africa will get your ass whooped, literally. No strings attached in America. Okay? And a lot of black Americans have to restrain themselves when they're in Africa so that they don't whoop somebody's ass. There's no black American that has been to Africa and has almost not whooped somebody's ass at least 10 times. And it's like, man, you lucky you here because in America, somebody would have fucked you up. And it don't even got to be somebody who is an adult. It could be a 15 or 16-year-old because Africa thrives off of just doing whatever the hell you feel like doing. And in black America, you can't do whatever you want to do because America is about respect. America is almost like a big prison complex. You step on somebody's shoes in America, it's like, yo, man, I'm sorry about that. You spill somebody drink in America, it's, I'm sorry about that. Somebody can step on your shoes in Africa and keep walking. Then now, if you grab them, brother, what are you doing? What you doing? What is this? What is this? Because you're not used to that kind of smoke. You're just not used to somebody grabbing your ass like that and just choking you up. American have an African dude touching every wall, everyone, like quickly. Americans is crazy. Grab you, have you touching all 4 walls at the same time. Boop, 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 like that. Okay? That's the kind of shit that happens in America. So when Africans who are used to doing kind of, thank you, Tracy. Thank you for the super chat. So when Africans is used to doing whatever they want to do, and they come in contact with Americans where you got severe circumstances that get your ass fucked up. Now, what black Americans who are Pan-Africans, y'all are enabling them, putting them in a situation where, I hate to say this, somebody can get hurt. Because not every American coming to Africa is going to be nice. Not every, and it's not going to matter that it's going to be in Uganda for some people. It's not going to matter that's going to be a crowd. Some of y'all are going to get hemmed up right there on site. So when you have one group that don't have a lot of accountability for their actions towards other people, and somebody else who come from a culture where that decision can get them killed, automatically we're dealing with 2 different kinds of people who see the world differently. So if that's not solved quickly, violence can come quickly. Or if it's not violence, it's hatred for that particular group of people. And that's what you're seeing now. Because what Dr. Ericana is doing, if she was somebody in New York City or in Philadelphia, it's the kind of shit that get your door kicked in and get your mama and them dragged outside the door, if it's the right person. If it's the right person, you scam for $1 million, this is what gets somebody come kicking in your door and dragging your mama outside. Dr. Ericana don't know nothing about that, unfortunately. She ain't never had to deal with that. Somebody coming in, dragging you out your house and shit, and filming somebody talking about World Star about why you scamming. Now, if somebody was to, I'm not trying to say this should happen, but if that was to happen to her, then you would be mad. You would be upset. But don't everybody play like that. People tie your mama up. Some people, it's crazy. Some people come and get your, unfortunately, come and get your kids. Everybody don't play fair in Black America like that. You don't know who you're dealing with. So quite naturally, when you say it's not a good time, then here's what you allow to happen. You allow for somebody who's deranged to make it their time. Okay, in a good time, don't worry about it. I'll be right back. Oh, so I don't have no recourse in this, so it's not fair. The last thing y'all want is Black Americans coming to Africa feeling like it ain't fair. Because the moment that you get African Americans or Black Americans coming to Africa and they start feeling that shit ain't fair, they gonna make it fair. Because the way we think about it, if I got to lose, then it's not okay. It's not gonna be fair. Okay, I got something for that. And the last thing y'all want to deal with is Black American people thinking like that, where they backed up against the wall because they feel like they don't have no recourse, or it got to go to another level. Then y'all gonna be complaining about, see, they bringing a violence here. That's why y'all got to stop playing like that. Because the minute that Black Americans start feeling like it's not fair, I'm being cheated, I don't know who they playing with, now it's personal. Now somebody got to lose their job, somebody got to lose something, because a lot of us think like this. I'm gonna tell you, if I can't have it, you can't have it either. If I'm not gonna have it, you ain't gonna have it. So when y'all start to face that level of cruelty in somebody who thinks like that, then this is not what y'all need. This is not what Africa need, because that's the system. That's the situation that y'all creating. That's what Pan-Africanism is creating. What is, okay, I don't have an opportunity. You're not going to be fair. I'm losing my money. Tell you what, now I know how we can get it. That's when people start playing dirty. And don't nobody play dirty better than Black Americans. I'm sorry. Because when Africans is doing stuff like that, they're just being opportunistic. But Black Americans don't really forget. Black Americans is playing for keeps. We not playing the same kind of battle here. We not playing the game of, oh, I'm sorry, I'm getting over it, I got abused. It's okay. Africans can do that. Africans, they can basically do stuff like beat their family member for some money and then forgive. Africans can do that, and it's not personal. Oh, like I said, he owed me money, but it's okay. He's my brother. I forgive him. That's not how we roll for real. That's not how we think about things. We think about it as, okay, you did this to me. It's personal. Now, for the African person, it don't have to be personal, but for us, it is personal. So once it's personal, we're going to take it there. And at the very least, if we don't take it there, it's going to be superior hatred for that person. And nobody wants to hear, oh, well, not all of them like that. That's not how we're going to look at it. That's not how anybody looks at it. Everybody looks at it as when they have been harmed, fuck the rest of those people. That's how most people look at it. That's how so many gang wars start in America. Somebody get into a beef. Somebody accidentally gets shot. Okay. Then that person's family jump into it. Somebody accidentally gets shot on the other side. Somebody had nothing to do with it. Now they family into it. And don't nobody want to hear it's accidental. I didn't mean to kill your husband, or I didn't mean to shoot your. It don't matter at that point. It don't matter no more. Now it's on. Now it's on, and then now it's on site forever. It's on site forever. Forever and ever and ever. So y'all doing a disservice when y'all protecting this is a good time. Here's what we got to do. If we have conflict in the groups, the black world, it needs to let the conflict happen. The reason why the conflict need to happen so we can get resolution to the issue. That's what it is. It's not to stay away from somebody. When we're talking about pan-scamming, when we're talking about people doing the wrong thing, even if it's black Americans, I called out the people in the Hebrew Israelite community, and they was upset about with me. And those are largely black Americans. It's to cause conflict because now with y'all communities, since y'all don't want to be thrown in the bunch, get your communities together so let's operate fairly. If we start operating more fairly, then we won't have issues. But if you're protecting people who are scamming, then you're going to get conflict. You're going to get conflict. Bad conflict. Conflict can be good or bad. Black Americans, by nature, we are confrontational. Somebody says, we don't want to work with y'all at all. I don't know why you in here. Get him out of here, somebody. We're confrontational as a group. This confrontational don't have to be physical. It's just to get to the bottom of it. If it got to be shooting the fair one or shooting the fade, let it be shooting the fade. If it's going to be, we're going to box it out or we're going to be, let it be that. But at least let's get clarity. The Africans who are scamming that we calling out don't operate like that. They're not being clear. So you're being deceitful and you're trying to hide in or around a passive aggressive behavior. When you're basically telling somebody you're going to do something and you're doing the opposite, what you're doing is you're being passive aggressive. And we can't respect that. It's not to be respected. So if people start calling Pan-Africanism, Pan-Scamming, and I'm going to tell you right now, I live here, right? Who has been to Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda? Press 1. I'm gonna prove my point. Who's been to Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda? Press 1. One. Okay. All right. Now, I can prove to you about how Pan-Africanism is failing right here in this eastern region. Anybody who's ever been to Kenya, Uganda, or Rwanda, remember, they used to have an East African tourist visa. An East African tourist visa. Anybody remember the East African tourist visa? How much was it? Somebody put the cost in the chat. If you know what I'm talking about. It allowed you for 90 days, you can go between Rwanda, Kenya, Uganda. How much was it? I'm going to see if you remember. The East African tourist visa. Anybody remember how much it cost? It was $100 exactly. $100. What the East African tourist visa would allow you to do, it would allow you to come to Uganda, Kenya, or Rwanda, and you could operate in that region for 90 days as if you were in one country. When we're talking about Pan-Africanism, this was the start in the region because the East African community had started in 1967. It by 1977, it had been abolished. Then we also know in 78, 79, Uganda and Tanzania went to war in the late 70s. So in 2002, they came out with this initiative. By the time 2014 came, Rwanda had joined in 2012, I believe. So we had this initiative. It was a great initiative. Thank you, Brother Keith. What happened? Ruto comes into office and then they come up with the new ETA. So they pulled out, all right, of the East African tourist visa. Kenya said we don't want to do it no more. They came with their own stuff, all right? So basically Kenya put its needs over the region and now you cannot spend $100 to come to each country. Now you would have to apply each separately, which is the reverse of Pan-Africanism. Imagine that the European Union would come out tomorrow and say, you know what, y'all you can't travel from France to Germany to Denmark and Sweden in one go no more. You got to apply for each country in the European Union individually. How hard would it be for you to travel to Europe? It'd be a pain in the ass. If you get into France in the EU, not only is it cheap to fly, you can go to Germany without being checked in. You operate as if you're from one country. It's just as simple as going to Alabama to Georgia or Alabama to Tennessee. Imagine if you had to go to Alabama, then go to Tennessee, then check in and it'd be too hard. But we saw the reverse here in Africa. Instead of adding more countries to the East African tourist visa, it was less. So when you criticize that, oh, you an agent. Hello? What about, y'all see me now? Hold on, guys. Y'all coming back? I was down bad. What about now? Can y'all press 1 if you can hear me? Press 1. We back? Okay. So these are things that we're talking about. You don't get to lie to the people. You don't get to lie and say you're going to get free citizenship. You don't get to charge people, especially in the Black American communities and anywhere of the diaspora, and then somebody brings it up and you say it's a bad time. It's never a bad time when they want to do their fuckery. It's always a good time. Stop making the victims of these scams the villains. And again, this is why Africa, a lot of African stuff is low trust environment. This is why it's dusty. It's not only me saying this. Africa's own people say this. What I'm saying is not new. I'm not the first person to say this. You talk to any Africans in the United States, any Africans in Canada, any Africans in Europe, they will say what I'm saying is 100% true. They will say I'm not lying. There's no African that can listen to what I'm talking about and say that I'm telling a lie. They can't say that. And you guys who are bigging up Dr. Arikana, you guys who are bigging up Burkina Faso, all you're doing is making the people that would have came to Africa, they're not interested in Africa anymore. That's what's happening. People who wanted to come to the continent are changing their mind. People who wanted to make a life here don't want to make a life here no more because they changing their minds. And they changing their minds because of low trust, no accountability, and you guys are apathetic to their issues. This is what Pan-Africanism has become. You're literally turning off your future base. That's all y'all doing. When you defend lies, when you want to move the goalposts, y'all are the ones that are making people not interested in Africa. Because what you want me to do and anybody else to do is come in and tell everybody how great it is here, and it can be great. How lovely it is here, and it can be lovely. Oh, we don't need this division. If we don't need this division, where's the accountability? Why do we have a disparity in the diaspora's relationship to Africa? And again, this ain't all about Black Americans. It could be the Nigerian American community, Nigerian British community. The diaspora largely has a bad leverage with most African countries. So why is it so bad? And the Pan-Africans don't want to answer this. The Pan-Africans only care about libations, wearing sandals, walking around doing vlogs in the middle of the bushes. Asking for cash apps in the trees. Hotepping it up. Peacing and family. Dusty down bad behaviors with no accountability. And peacing and familying it up. That's all they care about. Peace, family. And talking about divide. Oh, I'm definitely going to trick it off. Divide and conquer. Everything ain't divide and conquer. Nikki Brandon B. Dividing and conquer is when you're going to get somebody That's going to bust you upside your head when you scam them. That's going to be divide and conquer. Somebody going to divide your head when they hit you in the head, and they going to conquer when your ass fall down. That's dividing and conquer. Like my granddaddy told me, it's gonna be two hits. I'm gonna hit you, and you gonna hit the floor. That's the divide and power. Divide and conquer. Nobody is dividing and conquering somebody when somebody is being disrespectful in a relationship. If black Americans are disrespecting Africans, that's wrong. If Africans are disrespecting black Americans, that's wrong. If black Americans do the same, it's wrong. It's wrong on either end. And both sides got to be mature enough to call out that sort of behavior on either side. Black Americans don't have no business disrespecting Africans for no reason. And Africans don't have no business disrespect. Now, do we make jokes? Do we talk about each other? Sure. Okay? But it shouldn't get to a point where it get out of hand, because I damn sure talk about everybody. Africans, I talk about blacks. In your face, behind your back. But for me, like I said, it's playful. But everybody not playing. Dividing and conquering is a culture of low trust environment. Let me tell you this. Before black Americans came to Africa, Africa already had a low trust environment amongst each other. Already. That's before we got here. Africans operated on a low trust environment already. In most countries. Had a low trust of other tribes, a low trust of each other. Didn't mean that they didn't like each other, but they had a low trust. That low trust business environment is still here. Black Americans, to a certain degree, as time went on, because during slavery and maybe and Jim Crow, we had a more of a high trust, but we also operate in a low trust. So when you get two different groups of people that come from a low trust environment, yeah, it's hard to get those two groups to come together and just start as we gonna have on sandals and just work together. It don't make sense. And if Africans can't take criticism, it can't be Pan-Africanism. If black Americans can't take criticism, it can't be Pan-Africanism. Both sides got to be able to say what the fuck they got to say, albeit respectfully, to get over the issue so that you can have a relationship with each other. And y'all trying to run from that. We should stop trying to run from that. We should run toward the conflict. Let's get it out there. Dr. Arikana shouldn't be running from this conflict. You stole the money. You've been stealing the money. Come and stand up for yourself. Stop blaming it on a smear campaign. When Dr. Arikana got fired from the African Union, all it was a smear campaign. No, it wasn't no fucking smear campaign. You did it. And the only way you're going to have any kind of chance of unity is by telling the truth. I'm sorry, I messed up. I made a mistake. I'm down bad. Yeah, I scammed. I shouldn't have did it. That's how you get unity. You don't get unity by sweeping shit underneath the rug. You don't get unity. You get unity by telling it how it is. You get unity by being upfront and straightforward. That's how you're going to get unity. In having two pathways of respectfulness. And if Pan-Africanism is not going to call for it, it's not no point in doing it. And I'm not talking to any of y'all out there who don't believe in the Pan-African stuff, just for real. For this conversation, y'all don't need to comment. This is only for people who want to be in the community. You can be a proud black American person, but if you want to be in the community, these are the hurdles that have to be addressed. And anybody doing protectionism, bullshitism, letting other groups, why are you bringing that up? No. No. What I'm talking about with the Burkina Faso situation and Dr. Arikana is correct. Traore don't have to be the main person to have been involved in it. But if Traore, because right now I'm gonna tell you, Ibrahim Traore, they painting him as if he can't do nothing wrong. Let me tell you this. You can be a great leader like Traore, a revolutionary, and fuck up. He's not above criticism. If Traore did a military coup, took over Burkina Faso, and appointed somebody that scammed black Americans, how come somebody is an agent by pointing that out? It's Traore's people who did that. That don't make him a bad person. He made a mistake. Joe Montana, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, threw interceptions. Nolan Ryan, a great pitcher, gave up home runs. Tom Brady lost games. Michael Jordan missed shots. Everybody great makes mistakes. Why is it that this guy is above reproach? He don't get on there and take a shit like everybody else? He don't use the bathroom like everybody else? He don't have problems. He don't get sick like everybody else. He can't get malaria like everybody else. So his government can't be criticized? And what y'all do is when y'all protect these people, they continue to become, they get worse. Dr. Eric Connor, you guys protected her when she scammed the African Union. Do you know how many people signed her things? 90,000. She stole from the African. The same thing she did to y'all, she did in the African Union in 2019. You had 90,000 signatures to return her back to the African Union. Y'all thought it was because of that speech she did to France. No, it's because of that damn stealing, doing whatever she felt like doing, spending money on pageants, keeping the money for herself. Stole over 181,000 on one go. Not turning, doing underhand deals, doing shady deals. Dr. Arikana is supposed to be for parity in fairness in Africa. When she had an opportunity to do bid contracts, she awarded bids to people that she was friendly with. Nepotism, not giving vendors and people to apply for those contracts, being fair. She was against Pan-Africanism. And y'all defended her. And guess what? She came right back around and did the shit that she's doing now. Now somebody like me or anybody else who mentioned her, now we the problem. No, y'all protect liars. Y'all protect liars. And instead of holding that person accountable for what they did so the next person won't do it, what happens in black America, even in Africa, we see it with preachers. In the black church, it's common. We can have one of them hooping and hollering preachers, Lord, as long as he can preach. Let him get caught sleeping with somebody, stealing some money. Eddie Long was a good example. Dr. Jamal Harrison Bryant is a good example. What do black people tell you? Touch not thou my anointed, do my prophet no harm. We do it too. If it's your favorite preacher, touch not thou my anointed, do my prophet no harm. You don't want to hear it. It's the same thing in Pan-Africanism. Y'all start attacking the people that are critical of the truth. Then you wonder why people don't want to come to church no more. Why black men don't want to come to church no more. It's the same thing with Pan-Africanism. People get Pan-Africanism fatigue. Thank you, Martians. Unfortunately, these things have to be called out for the community to grow. Some of y'all stopped being Christians and came over to the Pan-African community, and then you're doing the same things you do for your favorite preachers at your Baptist churches, at your Church of God in Christ churches. It just doesn't make sense, family. It's stupid. It's dumb. And what it's going to do is cause more division internally because people start regretting these people. I know so many black Americans that came to Ghana. I know so many black Americans that came to Uganda and left with a bad taste in their mouth. And they won't say it publicly, but they can't stand Africans. Same thing happened. You get an African disgruntled in black America. They get the wrong experience and they hate black Americans. And all of which don't have to be the case if you can find a common ground to mediate it and let people experience the conflict to get past it, to get an understanding. Because the Bible says in all things, Let's get an understanding. That's the only thing I'm trying to do. Now, when your complaints fall on deaf ears, you start to make a solution for it. Okay, since you don't care about me, then here's what I'm gonna do. And the last thing that y'all wanna do, I'm telling y'all, y'all do not want people in the diaspora start to becoming haters of Africa. Or feeling like they don't have no hope. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, what is going on right now in the continent, and I'm gonna tell you right now, COVID really hurt this continent. And it's sad. You had countries that people didn't go to school for 2, 3 years because in America, you have internet. Some of your kids have iPads. You can it'll make you start crying. Actually, your kids can actually do homeschooling. Not if you're in Uganda, your kids can't do homeschooling. Most people don't have iPads. They don't have laptops. They can't afford fiber. And some of the school fees were so high, families couldn't send their kids to school, family. So some of these people are growing up. They're already living in the third world country. And then what happens is now you take 2 or 3 years of their development when they're not going to school, and that person has to go out there and there's no jobs and start a business. And then you're going to shut off the diaspora. You're going to turn off your diaspora. For what? I'm talking about even the own country's diaspora. I'm not even talking about Black Americans. I'm talking about even Ugandan Americans, Ugandan British. A lot of people in the diaspora don't even want to deal with this shit. I'm talking about Black Americans. We kind of, we kind of new to the continent. We kind of glad to be here. Most people don't want to put up with this shit. Most folks that's in Uganda, they go live somewhere. They'll come and retire here, but they're not going to go put up with this in the working age. It's too much for them. They will stay in London. They will stay in Ireland. I met a Kenyan. I was in Nairobi in June. I met a brother that was working for Google in Dublin. He happened to be there and he was going right back to Dublin. He didn't have time. So a lot of these countries would benefit for some of your diaspora, whether it's us, whether it's Kenyan Americans, whether it's Ugandan Americans. You're going to benefit from that, and it's going to speed up the process. So this is why Pan-Africanism got to be on point, and people got to be able to get something out of it instead of getting scammed from it. Because Africa do got a lot to offer. It do. But when you're lying, you're begging, you're cheating, and you're scamming people, and you can't get to the issue, because again, a lot of this passive aggressive shit that happens in Africa, it's not going to fly with Black Americans or Jamaicans or Trinidadians. It's not going to work. Caribbeans, African Americans, Black Americans, especially Black Americans, very straightforward. We don't like that, that running around bullshit. It's not going to work with us. We don't like it. If you start to say something and do something else, we're not going to respect that. And it's going to be very difficult for us to let you know that we don't like Africans. They cannot like you and smile on your face. An African person can dislike you, but they have enough self-control. How are you? How's everything going? And but Black America, we're not built like that. There is no way that if we don't really fuck with you like that, we don't want you around us. And that's going to come out. And you're not going to be able to determine how it's going to come out. You're just not. You're not going to be able to come out. Because all we're going to do is say, get the fuck out of my face. And then if you don't do that, then I can't promise you what's going to happen after that. And that's the kind of environment y'all going to create in these countries where these Black Americans are going to be. And it's not going to end well on either side. Because a lot of that two-faced shit that y'all let go through, it's not going to work. Haitians are not like that. Jamaicans is not like that. Black Americans not. We're very upfront. We're very upfront. All we want to know is why didn't you do it? Why you didn't do it? Why you playing with me? So you didn't do it because you playing? That's how we're gonna take it. We're not gonna take it as that's a cultural thing. We're gonna take it as why you playing with me? Why you playing? You playing like that? And then all of a sudden, then why you grabbing me? What you know what I mean? Like what do you mean why am I grabbing you? You playing? All of that. I'm gonna pay you back tomorrow, and oh, come to my office. You're not there. We gonna come find you. Don't worry about it. We gonna come find you. It's somebody we know. We gonna come find you. Then you're gonna flip the script. Well, why you acting? Why you so mad? Why you so? No, 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 no. It's not. We're not gonna be doing all that talking. We're not gonna keep asking you. Oh, they're violent. They don't need to be in Africa. This is what happens when you don't have clarity. If we can't have no clarity in the relationship, we don't need no Pan-Africanism. Because Pan-Africanism got to be built on trust. It got to be built on reliability. And whenever time somebody come out and say something that's been harmed, y'all want to, well, that's not a good time. Whenever scammers want to scam somebody, it's a good time, isn't it? Yeah, no, I know. Africans operate in passive aggressive pockets. Africans operate in passive aggressive pockets. Oh, I didn't say that. I didn't mean that. But your body language say something different. But you didn't do it. Your actions say something different. And now all of a sudden you told me you will do something and you didn't do it. Nobody wants to hear that because a lot of Africans get scammed and they deal with it. Let's leave it. Africans get dead bad. Let's leave it. It's okay. Like Africans get scammed all the time, and let's just leave it. Let's not talk about it. No, no, y'all niggas is not gonna be doing that, and Black Americans is not gonna say something about it. No, that's the least we gonna do. Say something about it. Let's leave it alone. And an African American or Black American don't want to hear this is how it is in Uganda. This is Uganda. This is Kenya. This is Nigeria. We don't want to hear that shit. We don't want to hear that. So the reason why you see me going after scammers on my channel, you see me coming after them because people need to make a decision to stop that. Since the other Pan Africans don't want to do it, those who love the community. And again, these African countries don't trust each other. A lot of Pan Africans, we ought to come together. These African countries can't come together. Do you know how many times you will see African presidents taking pictures and they causing little wars in other countries behind their back? Getting their resources behind their back. The presidents don't even believe in Pan-Africanism. They don't believe in it. The old African presidents shut down borders all the time. Right now in Ghana, a few months ago, they were saying Nigerians must leave Ghana. In the 80s, Nigeria kicked out a million Ghanaians. What are y'all talking about? Don't talk to me about no Pan-Africanism. When the people who supposed to uphold it don't even believe in it themselves. In how your leaders act, the diaspora follows. Y'all think that what happens in Africa don't affect what happens in the diaspora? Yeah. If we see Kenya, Rwanda, Uganda getting along and building, we respect that. The diaspora see, oh shit. Like we saw with Ghana. When we see Ghana doing the year return, we seeing blacks coming together, we get excited about that. We want to support it. But once we do see little wars, we see little things popping off that's not, no, we also respond to that too. With the same energy that Africa does when they're doing it to their own people. That's how we look at it. And Africa is supposed to be the leader in this. And if they're not a leader with the African Free Trade Agreement, if they're not being leaders in regional stuff, if they're not addressing scams, if they're not trying to make it better for the diaspora to come home or to do what they need to do, then yes, it doesn't look good. And if Pan Africanism is not going to call that out, then it is Pan Scamonism. It is that. Yeah, Nigeria deported Ghanaians in the 80s. Sure did. As soon as them oil prices dropped, it got them the fuck out of here. So all I'm asking for in this Pan-African ideology is stop shifting the blame. Stop shifting the blame. Oh, you want to just tear somebody down. The last thing I'm trying to do for any person that live in Africa is to just, I want to just wake up in the morning and tear this person down for no reason. I would not make a video about a person if that person don't have evidence of harming the community or being a liar. When I saw, I'm gonna call him out by name. When I saw T3ME, I'm like, oh, okay. It's a young couple they in Tanzania. I didn't have no intention of just, oh, well, they young in the forest. Let me go ahead on them. No. Once I started getting emails, once I started getting victims, old women, old ladies, older women, then that's when I said, okay. And I didn't even want to get involved in it. But I felt that nobody else was doing it except for Kiki Loves Nigeria. She was the only one. Shout out to her. So I felt that I needed to do something with my platform. The same thing with Dr. Arikana. I wasn't thinking about Dr. Arikana. I was looking at African big booties. I'm not gonna lie to you. Y'all know I'm sick. I was looking at these big booties on OnlyFans. I'm seeing these women down the street in the mall and everything. I go out there on them boulders and just look at these booties and come back home. I wasn't thinking about Dr. Arikana. Dr. Arikana ain't my type. She ain't thick enough for me. These booties here in Africa is the real deal. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? You ain't never seen nothing like this in Uganda. I swear to God, at 30 white folks, you have never seen nothing like this. Oh, my mama, you have not. None of you Negroes have seen nothing like Uganda. I can guarantee you haven't. Booties be so big, the women that come here be like, what the fuck is going on here? You have never seen nothing like this. You saying FBA now, come out here. You'll be at least you be Pan-African in the cheeks and underneath the sheets. You be FBAing it on your on your Instagram hashtag and be Pan-African in the bedroom. None of you Negroes that's hashtag FBA will come out here, look at these booties and then say, she a tether. You a damn lie. You're going to make all kind of exceptions. Well, you know, I mean, as long as you're not hating on black, yeah, you see that ass, you're gonna find a way to be Pan-African, at least for that night. You're gonna be Pan-African. You're gonna be eating matoke. You're gonna get buy some sandals. You're gonna do something. If you see this ass out here, you're gonna be Pan-African in it up somehow. My homeboy is FBA. He went to my high school. He came out here. He wear all kind of dashikis now. He got that booty. Shit. This ass is different out here. So I wasn't trying to think about no Dr. Arikana and her badass wigs. Dr. Arikana is 60 or 70 years old. Nothing wrong with being 60, but she's not thick enough for me. I need to see something else. So I had to stop simping on what I was doing and come and talk about Dr. Arikana. That was not my, what? You talking to boys, not men. I'm definitely a boy then. Definitely. I will never stop talking about ass. I wasn't thinking about Dr. Arikana. I want to go to Acacia Mall and see what's walking around there and bring my ass right back home. Make me some videos and listen, I wasn't thinking about her. But it was only because of what she was doing. So y'all Negroes need to stop using, oh, you want to bring somebody black down. Okay, well, I'll tell you what. If you were talking about it, I wouldn't touch talk about it. Only person I really saw talking about it was Go Back to Africa. He even did a better job than me because he brought the people onto the line. What's going on, OG Ghost? Yeah, I'm still tricking. Y'all give me your money so I can trick too. I need about $10 more. Get my tricking up. Like the video. Yeah, I'm honest. If you got a big booty and you come to Uganda, I'ma look too. I'm not one of these fake ass YouTubers coming on here on camera trying to be all clean cut. I don't care about y'all. Not like that for real. I truly don't. I don't care about how y'all see me or what y'all do. I'm very open with what I need and what I like. I'm very open about I need that in my life. I need that in my life. So yes, I can be pro black too and pro clap, pro blacking and pro clapping. You damn right, and not unapologetically pro clap. Okay, and don't care what you're thinking about. Everybody knows about me. I'm not to be gotta have it. Pro black and pro clap. And you, in almost every stream, you're going to hear me talk about that somehow. I'm serious about mines. But that's what I'm talking about. But, you know, I'll be joking too. But in seriousness, it got to be, the Pan-African community got to, pro-blacks, we got to have dialogue. We got to have dialogue. And you people who love Dr. Arikana, it's okay to like her. What is not okay? To defend her when she has a history of doing this. It's wrong. It's wrong. It's okay to like Dr. Umar. What is wrong? To defend Dr. Umar's fuckery. That's wrong. Burkina Faso, it's okay to like him. Ibrahim Traore. What's wrong? If Ibrahim Traore had somebody who was on this job and they made a mistake, to defend Ibrahim Traore because he's above reproach, that is wrong. That's wrong. And what y'all do is y'all leave a bad taste in the mouth of the community where people don't trust y'all. And the same thing happened in the pro-black community as the same thing we see with black men in the black church. The black pastor got up there talking about black men, simping for the women. What happened? Black men just decided not to even say anything about it. Oh, thank you, brother Cab. Cool. That's some money. That's some Norwegian money. Or I'm really going, ooh, that is some good money. Oh, boy, that's about, ooh, look at that tricking. Black men was getting beat up in the black church. And you know what black men did? Black men don't even waste their time talking about it. So they just don't go no more. And the Pan-African community is going in the same way as the black church is going. At least with Pan-Africanism, you can get you a nice thick ass wife out of it. But the black church saw an exodus of black men because of black preachers downing black men in church. And the result of that was you had so many men that stopped going to black churches because they got tired of getting beat on in the church, in the pulpit every Sunday. And now what we're doing is allowing these people, the Dr. Arikanas, to run rampant. You allowing Dr. Umars to run rampant. We allowing crooks to run rampant in the Pan-African community. It's the same thing that's going on in the black church. No accountability. Dr. Umar Johnson, he can never apologize. Dr. Arikana, what's wrong with saying I'm sorry? I'm wrong a lot of times. What's wrong with saying to the community, I'm sorry? I made a mistake. I want to make it right with the community. What's wrong with saying that? As black people, we know that we mess up and make mistakes. We can respect that. But then to have a pompous attitude like, so what? I did it and what? So what? And? That's the problem. People just do whatever they want and they don't have no remorse for what kind of damage they cause to people. Right. And the money back. Yes. You're not saying I'm sorry. I'm going to get the money back. This is what I'm going to do. Nothing. Eat it. I did it and what? That's the attitude. VDT, somebody says, I double dare you talk about the president of Uganda, O'Shea. Please do, since you can call it the continent. I tell you what, you tell me where, and again, this is a person that's an idiot. You tell me where the president of Uganda is scamming black Americans. Show me an article of where you see him involved in these scams. He's not involved in these scams. This is what I'm talking about. Because some little YouTuber then probably made a video. He won't call out that. But again, because you're dumb. We're not talking about the same thing. Oh, divide and conquer is real. Divide and conquer is real when it applies. Let me just say something real quick. Action Jackson, what's your point, G? Hold on, let me help you. This is my point. My point is to time you out so you don't listen. Go clean your ears. Let me tell you something, okay? Let me give you an example. I'm at McDonald's, right? I'm at McDonald's. I come and slap the shit out you. Bow. Okay? Any of you guys, men or women, let's just say, for example, I come and slap the shit out of you. For no reason, just backhand. Boom! Right? You didn't ask to get slapped. I just gave you one. You get ready to knock the shit out of me. And I tell you, wait a minute, hold on. Hold on, Karina. Hold on, Monica. Hold on. This is divide and conquer behavior. You know what the white man wants us to do. Do you want to hear that? Do you want to hear that? Or do you want to beat the shit out of me until Jesus get off the cross? Which one is it? You tell me, because if you want to choose A, then I will consider your answer. But do you want to A, beat the shit out of me until Jesus get off the cross, or B, is divide and conquer? Which one is it? Tell me. Which one is it? What up, Leonard? I want to know. If I smack the shit out of you, do you want to hear if you hit me back, is divide and conquer? Or are you going to knock me in the next millennium? I think if you don't knock me in the next millennium, I'm going to slap you again. I'm going to slap you until you knock me into the next millennium. Once you knock me to the next millennium, I'll be happy for it. There is no person in this chat that if I come and smack the shit out of you, you wouldn't do your very best to knock me in the next week. Why? And while you whooping my ass, I'm going to tell you, wait a minute, brother. There's divide and conquer. You're not going to listen to none of that. Some of y'all will be hitting me, mother F, I told you. You're going to be hitting me in syllables. Right? Not even the words, in syllables. This is going to be one of them ass whoopings from the 90s, 80s ass whoopings, right? In syllables. And the last thing that you want to hear is divide and conquer. If somebody come while you whooping my ass and somebody, brother, that's what the white man want, you're going to turn around and slap them. If somebody stops you from whooping my ass, they going to get it, right? Right? If somebody try to pull you off of me, they going to get it, right? Because number one, they meddling in your business. And number two, you're going to tell them he hit me first. Is that correct? Is that correct? Press 1 if that's correct. So you can't tell nobody that's being harmed that they are causing division if they are being harmed. If they have evidence that you have harmed them, they are not causing division. If somebody has evidence that somebody in the community is causing harm, they are not causing division. In fact, what they're doing is causing unity. They're causing unity. If somebody brings, if you have a husband or a wife in a relationship, and that person got an issue and that person sweeping underneath the rug, you better get your ass out of there before they throw some grits on you. I'm going to say it again. You'll be like Al Green. If you have a wife or a girlfriend or whatever, and that person, if they have problems and they don't tell you how you feel, you're probably in a dangerous situation. Because that person is internalizing something that you can't understand. You don't know what they're thinking. You ready to get your ass up out of there. Now, if that person wants to bring their frustrations, they say, I'm tired of you. I'm tired of your shit. Why you always acting like that? That person cares. Actually, that person is trying to drive conflict. That person is trying to drive conflict to tell you that they're tired of you. They want you to change. Now, if that person ain't saying nothing, you in a lot of trouble. You might not make it to next week. If that person is not saying nothing, they don't care. That person is thinking about doing something to your ass. Thank you, Ike. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when you hear me ranting or other black people ranting or Go Black to Africa bringing people on, he's trying to cause conflict to get resolution. Now, when people stop talking about Pan, that means they've already made a decision that they done with it. When you stop hearing me talk about, and that's what happened on this channel, family, I'm about to go. When you don't see me posting on Ken Ghana, that means I'm depressed about this particular idea of the Pan African unity in this community. If you see me not posting on here, I'm done with it. Typically, if you don't see me coming on here interacting with y'all, I'm depressed about it. That's why I'm not motivated to talk about it. My spirit is my spirit is dampened. So that's why I don't come on here for months. Well, I don't come on here for months because my spirit is dampened. I don't want to fool with it. It don't matter how much money it's paying. My spirit is dampened. That's why. My motivation to come and deal with it is dampened, so I don't fuck with it. When you don't see me on my podcast, I love my podcast. I just don't feel like doing it because my spirit is dampened. I don't want to do it. I'm not in the mood for this shit. Hey, Naima, how you still in Philadelphia? Let me give you a baby. I've been in to go ahead and get you pregnant to keep it real. You still in Philadelphia, baby? I want to be a stepdaddy too because you fine as hell. My spirit is dampened. That's why I don't do it. It's not because I just don't. I feel like I'm not in the. I don't believe I'm down and out about it. That's why. I can't be on here talking about Pan-Africanism if I feel down bad. That's the truth. And ain't no amount of money that I want from this shit. When I don't want to deal with this shit, I don't want to deal with it. I don't care what topic is hot. You can send me. I don't want to deal with it. I'll come on. I'll force myself to come on and make a video. But I will be on here for like 4 months. Because my heart don't be in it. That's why. My heart don't be in it. I'm tired. I'm tired of dealing with them. Tired of dealing with y'all. That's the point. That's why you don't see me dealing with it. I'm not motivated to be in the community. That's why you don't see me. If I go months, that's why. I'm fed up. I don't feel like coming on here and trying to make something that's not. I have to be in the mood to talk about this shit. I have to feel the love for it. I have to feel the love for it to talk about like I have to be in the mood for it. I have to be like I live this life, right? So I'm already drained in my everyday life, living here, living in Africa, going through the challenges. It's already a lot of challenge for me. So I can't come on here and be fake. I have to want to do this. And if I don't want to do it, I don't fuck with it. So how did you get out here? Again, I walked out here. Backwards. Hey, what's up, A? So, you know, And most people, when they get tired of something, they just stop. Yeah, Pan-Africanism fatigue. And as you get older, you start thinking about, well, this shit ain't gonna change. I might as well just live my life. And that's the last thing that Africa needed in the black, because actually the black world, and I know some people are not gonna agree with me. I know we're gonna have some FBAs and ADOS not agree with me, but I will say this: it is better if we can have some sort of relationship in the black world. It would be very powerful if it could happen. And hopefully we're all trying to fight together so it can happen, right? We will be very unstoppable if we could do that. We could change a lot of our problems overnight, even in the black community in America, but damn sure if you had Africa, you can change your issues overnight. But nobody want to go through no foolishness to make something happen if it's just, what I mean, if it's just too down bad. People would rather not deal with it. It got to have some incentivization, and nobody want to lose their money, lose their time, and be lied to all the time when it ain't worth it. That's just the plain truth of it. So that's kind of how I am. So yeah. So anyways, listen, family, I'm broke. Okay, I gotta get on here and do these videos. So I just wanted to have a rebuttal for that and to say the black black people got to have accountability. You cannot be letting Negroes running around rampantly. I don't care what community you're from, Black American community. We can't be running around like we don't have no damn sense. Dr. Eric Connor needs to apologize to all the people and give them their money back. That's the least she can do. And she needs to retire from the diaspora. Dr. Eric Connor is a cancer to Africa. I'm going to say it. She's a cancer. She's a liar and she is a thief. She's been stealing from the community. She's been stealing from Africa. This is her behavior. This is her behavior. She needs to go and sit down and give it up. She can't change. She not gonna change. She don't need to be a voice for nothing in Africa. You already had your chance. And the community should be requesting it, and she should honor that. You can't do the right thing, sit down. The fact that you would even recommend Burkina Faso to the community shows me that you don't care about black people. There is not even my worst enemy would I recommend Burkina Faso to. At least go get shot in St. Louis. But Burkina Faso, let me at least send you to Del Paso Heights. I don't hate you that much. But if I send you to Burkina Faso, I don't like you that much. I'm sorry. I just don't. And I'm going to make you pay for this shit too? Oh, yeah, I already don't like your ass. At how many points can you just show me that you don't? Say, yeah, New Orleans for sure. Like, at what point do somebody got to show you how much they don't like you? She was showing you already that she don't like y'all. It's evident. How much hatred do you got to have for somebody to send them to Burkina Faso? No disrespect, but a person that even care about you won't even do that. He's talking about call Moose 70 to get you deported back to Sacramento. Hold on. Let me go ahead on and time you out. You already mad with that old ass hat you got on. Looking like a reverse future. Looking like Neo on crack. You need to stop the false campaigning on Burkina Faso. I know that out of 163 countries, it is ranked number 152 in danger. I know I won't walk around out there at nighttime. I know that much. Well, they'll steal everything. Is JT the bigger figure trustworthy? Asking for a friend. Shout out to JT the bigger figure. I don't know. What he do? It's not my business, but I will tell you. You need to come to the country of your choice and know that coming to Africa is at least a 10-year plan successfully. It's a 10-year plan. There's very few YouTubers or content creators that can walk you into Africa. Very few. What most of y'all need to do, and I'm gonna say this real quick. Y'all want me to give y'all some game? Press one. I'm gonna press one. I'll give you some free game. You're not being fair or realistic. Press one. Okay. One, 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 one. Here is the reality, okay? Most of y'all, and I think I'm gonna do it on the stream. Most of y'all need to meet. Those of you who want to come to Africa, you need to meet before you come here. Okay? What and that's not even to do no investments. Because when you come here, you be by yourself. Most of y'all in your city, what you guys need to do is if you can get like 10 people, and if you could put $100 a month into like a unit trust fund, something like that, that you can invest every month, and you can all take the money out. Like let's say for example, I have $100, you have $100, you have $100. So if I ever want to withdraw my money, I can withdraw my money at any time, right? That is what 10 people need to do before you come to Africa to invest into something before you go. So it's better if you find 10 people in your city, 50 people in your city, something like that. And you guys start saving and stuff and trying to do like that, yeah, off where you're at. It's very, very, very hard to come here. No, you can do like even they have a company called Britam here. Britam is great. You can invest in, you need some momentum. Somebody said, wow, it's a talking ape. Yeah, me and my bananas, we'd be really clapping your mama's cheeks at night. I'm gonna have me a light-skinned baby too. So what I'm saying is most of you guys that are coming to Africa, like like you need to get like 5 or 10 people that you can meet, because most people, most groups have connections in the diaspora. You still need your connections in the diaspora, right? You need to build your Africa inside out. Ain't you crazy? Tomorrow he's a gorilla. That means you here in Africa, but you have connections back in America, back and forth like that. You're gonna need both. So you keep all your credit cards, you keep your American Express, keep your stuff, things like that, right? So it's best to meet people with a business plan before coming to Africa, like the Eritreans do it like this, the Indians do it like this. You don't want to be the only person coming to Africa start a business by yourself. You have a very high level of success, a level of not of a rate. But if you have like you're working in America, you have a fund, you guys putting in $150 a month, investing $1,500 a month in Africa with 10 people, that's like $18,000 a year. That's a lot of fucking money. And then make some rules and stuff. Yeah, that's how a lot of people do it. So that approach actually is better. Hey, K&K. So 5 people, 10 people. If you're in the church, you start that kind of fund or whatever like that. Then you come into Africa that way. Because that's how Eritreans and Indians do it. And if you can't get along, take your money out of the thing. You go your separate way. Nobody gets scammed. You didn't give your money to you have your money in an institution that handles your payments and your investment stuff like that. You set up the rules for how that money can be distributed. Nobody gets scammed. So that's the best way to do it. Or to meet people online. But like I said, you know, that's the, I'll go into detail, but that's the best way. Yeah. If you can get 50 people in your city that don't want to even come to Africa, but they could put $100 a month or $50 a month, that's 25. If you were to do a poultry farm, that's $50 a month with 50 people. And obviously you imagine on the ground somebody, that can be a lot of money in 2 or 3 years. So that's how you want to kind of look at it, like that. So, but I don't want nothing to do with that. But you will find your own. So, but I would do it like that. That's how Eritreans do it. Eritreans do it like that. Then some people live on the. Let's say if you have 10 people, you're spending $100 a month. One person live here, manages the business, whatever like that. That person's being supported by the diaspora, and that person's managing the day-to-day affairs. That's how the Eritreans do it. Eritreans have somebody here, and then they have people that are funding them. And like I said, if you got 10 people putting $100 a month, it's really not a bad idea. But it's better if you do it in your own city. Some of y'all in your own city, you can have, if you're in Indianapolis, Chicago, 100 Black Americans could put $100 a month and invest in anything in Nigeria, and that's a lot of fucking money. But it got to be like that. That's the best thing. Good luck with that. Yeah, I'm just saying, but that's what I would do. At minimum 5. But you need to have more people. Listen to what I'm saying. You need to have more people than one. So you need to start your community in America first. Don't come to Africa without a community. Start your communities in America first. Start it in your own city first. Because your baseline is in your city or with people you know. Then you work your own city's community into Africa and then back. There, back, like that. Versus trying to just come by yourself, trying to learn the system by yourself, struggling. No. Start where you have an advantage. Your advantage is America, right? You don't want to sell everything, you know. If it's your sister, if it's your brother, it's a family thing, you can do it like that. Start small. If you have 5, it don't matter. You're not in a rush. Start with your baseline with people you can trust there. Then here, there, here, there. Somebody want to come for 2 months, they come, then you come, then you come, then you come. Like that. Then you mitigating the risk. That way can't nobody, it's harder for somebody to cheat you on the ground. So I'll make a whole video on that, like 2 weeks. I'm still thinking about it. So yeah. So yeah. Your strength is that if you're a Black American, you have Black Americans. It's going to be harder, but Black Americans, if they would invest in things that they can pull their money out. So if they could pull their money out anytime, it wouldn't be no real risk to them. Yeah. Hey, K and K. Yeah. It's better to operate like that. You find the industry, you find the skills for the industry, and you got time. And Africa ain't no rush. It's gonna be here. You ain't gotta. Don't let nobody tell you that you gotta come here, come tomorrow. The West is going. That's a lie. Africa been here for. It's gonna be here. It's here while you're there. It's gonna be there when you die. Africa ain't going nowhere. But take your time and get your information, and then, like I said, you ain't gotta put all your money in there. If you have a house, don't sell your house. If you have 401k investment, don't sell your 401ks, right? You don't give up your house to come to Africa. That's stupid. Don't sell your house to come to Africa. You're fucking insane. And you don't buy no house when you're in Africa. You come here and you rent. Keep all your stuff in America. Keep your credit cards. Keep your American Express. Keep your credit. Keep all the things that make you. In fact, if you have a house in America, it's even better. Like I said, like if you get a secondary property, that could even help you go to Africa even more. Anything that you can do in America that gets you a better pension, that gets you a better more stuff in the stock, keep your American shit. Don't sell your American stuff. I invest in the stock market every month and have been doing so. Keep your credit cards. You never know what's gonna happen. Keep all your stuff. Don't nobody tell you to sell that. Add on to what where your net worth is. If you got gold and silver, keep it. Bitcoins, keep it. Why would you give it away? You can come here and just rent and just figure things out. You don't let nobody pressure you into investing in something you don't know. You don't have to do that. You're not missing out on nothing. It's still opportunities. Oh, listen, somebody tell you like this, you're gonna miss out. If there are opportunities in America, there's opportunities still in America, right? Then it's always gonna be opportunities in Africa. Wherever blacks are at, you're gonna always have opportunities. If you go to Jackson, Mississippi, you're gonna have opportunities. If you go to Baton Rouge, you're gonna have Detroit, you have opportunities. Wherever blacks are at, you're gonna have opportunities. Period. Well, thank you, B Rain. So don't let nobody say, "Oh, if I don't act now," don't get me wrong. You could act now, and it might not be as good, but you can still have opportunities. Don't buy a house in Africa. Buy a house in America, because you're a citizen in America. You own it. You will not own it depending on where you are here. Your house is more valuable in America. You own it, right? You have citizenship. Buy where you have citizenship. Some of y'all want to buy and build in Ghana. Why? You can go and rent in Ghana. I rent in Uganda. I don't have to buy a house here. I'll buy a house in the States. I don't have to buy a house here. Why would I buy a house here when I could buy a house in the States? It's a write-off in the States. I can Airbnb it out. It can gain equity. I can take equity off of it and get another house. I'm an American. I'm going to use my American privilege. Why would I want to give up my American privilege? I don't want to give up my American privilege. I'm going to use that. I'm going to use my credit cards on you. I'm going to use my whatever I have on you. That's the advantage we have. So why not use that? I'm a super pitchback blower. Grew up in Senegal. And Senegal is yeah. Yeah. Shout out to my brother, Pepe. Yeah. So I'm going to talk about that later. Use everything that make you American to your advantage. Africans come to America and get citizenship. Do you think that they sell everything to go back to Africa? Hell no. No African that gets citizenship in America will give up all his shit to go back to Africa. If he come back to Africa, he got American houses, he got American credit cards, He used them both. You gotta use both. Africans want to get to America to get to. You gotta use both. Now you're trying to get into the things you don't understand the scale. Your American stuff help you scale. Nobody, only black Americans want to give away their American shit to go to Africa. No, Africans don't do that. Africans get all their shit. They have their land in Africa and they land in America. They building up both things. Black Americans got to build up both things. You have your American shit going for you. You don't give that up to go to Africa. You don't sell your American shit to be in Africa. You keep your, because you never know anything may happen. You need to go back home. Something may, you got an emergency. Anything. Keep your credit cards. Keep your stocks. Keep your 401ks. If you got to give up your stocks and bonds to go to America, to go to Africa, you don't need to be going yet. Don't ever cash out your 401k to come to Africa. Unless you for sure know that you are going to be, and you probably don't know that. Do you feel ever being displaced? Yes, to a certain degree. Especially in the East Coast corridor. New York's, Philadelphia's, Chicago's, not necessarily down south, but in those East Coast corridors, yes. Am I wrong to build a house in Kenya if I'm married to Kenya? That might be a little different. No, I don't have a one size fit all strategy for that. But here's what I will tell you. If you don't have Kenyan citizenship and you buy a house, I'm probably assuming that if you divorce, she don't get the house. Okay, because you're not a citizen yet. So if you're going to build her a house and build your house, I hope she love you enough that if she get rid of your ass, because you ain't gonna get the house, she gonna get the house. What up? What up? No excuse. If you want to help her buy land, that's okay. Just to know, but just think, if you divorce, you're not gonna have no access to that house because you're not a citizen. She's a citizen. But in case something go wrong, you ought to have your house in America because that's what you own. If you start profiting in Africa, you should still invest back in America. If you make profits in Africa, invest back in America. Invest in the stock market. Invest in the real estate market. Indians in Uganda invest in India. They own a lot of shit in Uganda. They invest back in India all the time. Our home country by default is America, right? So we still black in it, but our home market is still America. If you're black, you're still American. You never stop being an American. You should have a retirement plan with Fidelity, Vanguard, Charles Schwab. You know, you should be working on some kind of retirement plan through mutual funds, S&P 500, something like that. If you don't have that, you shouldn't be 40 years old coming to Africa with no retirement plan. You're not working on that, nothing. Those things are your anchors for your financial health. You need to have those things. You should always have those. And those things, you should be financially well off enough that you shouldn't have to cash those things out to come to Africa. So those are your tools, right? You got to have 401k, your retirement. If it's crypto, if it's gold, however you want to do it, you should also talk to financial planners in America before coming to Africa. You should also get financial advice, not from YouTubers, not even from me, but you should be able to talk to somebody at Fidelity. Listen, I have a plan. I want to go to Africa. What am I saving to do there? People can help you plan. People get paid to do this all the time. The chain effect. where should FBA buy in America? Should we buy in the South or whatever? I think you should buy where you understand the market. They also know that retired visa permanent residency is not secure citizenship takes. Yes, it's correct. 10 years in most countries, yes. You should buy in a market that you understand. So I don't do real estate, but I know people that, for example, are in California and they buy in Florida. So real estate laws are different in different places. So if I'm buying a house in Ohio, but I don't live in Ohio, I don't understand Ohio real estate laws. I don't understand, let's say, because real estate is a big value chain. You got people who do loans in real estate. You got people who do fixer uppers, people who do duplexes, people who do commercial. Real estate is just something that it's a lot of complexity to it. So if you're gonna buy something, why are you buying the house? And if you're gonna buy the house, do you plan to live in the house? Um, what Because just because the house is for sale don't mean you need to buy it, you know. Um, and then if you don't have somebody go rent the house, you got to pay the mortgage every month, right? So you need to invest in a market that you can understand, and it takes time for you to understand the market. If I'm from California, I want to start investing in St. Louis. Shout out to brother Antoine. Antoine has bought, my buddies, he bought like 15 houses in St. Louis. But he rents them in St. Louis. But he has a real estate agent and he does business and he only buys in that market. Some people only buy in one market. But you got to invest in what you understand and what you can afford. But if you don't understand, just because you do real estate in Philadelphia is different than real estate in California. It's different than real estate in Baltimore. Any market that you do, any business, that's why I like mutual funds. Mutual funds for me, I buy it and it's set it and forget it. The stock market go up like this and this and this and this. Like one year I made $100,000 by just not doing nothing. But I had bought those stocks. Actually, I only own one stock, which is Waste Management. But I buy index funds. I bought it when the market was on a bear market. I bought a whole bunch. When the market was up, I was still buying. When the market was down, I was still buying. And as the market was fluctuating, whatever price you buy an index fund at, if it's S&P 500, it may go up, it may go down, it may go up again and down, but it never really comes down to the first part over time. The S, the stock market kind of goes like this, right? But always going higher. Crypto, I don't buy it because I don't understand it. But some people understand crypto. I don't understand crypto. But I never sell my index funds. I keep my index funds. I never sell it. Who says stop spewing nonsense? You have no clue about investment and finance. I can tell you that by just buying every week for 5 years, that one year I made $100,000 from some shit I did in 2021 that happened in 2024. I can tell you that much. And that's not me. That's me buying the same shit, the same one thing. I just bought the NASDAQ 100 in Fidelity, or I bought the Fidelity Growth, the Fidelity Growth Fund. I only had 3 funds. I just buy the same ones. But if you're going to invest in real estate, you need to be consulted by somebody that understands each market and all that. Those are big value chains. But in theory, if you're going to come to Africa, you should already be having, number one, retirement fund already. Retirement fund already. Number two, if you own your house, you should be able to keep your house and come to Africa. Number three, you should have some knowledge of the industry you're going to come to in Africa, unless you already have some kind of job or business in America that can help you in Africa. But if you got to come to Africa and search for an opportunity, it will take you 5 to 10 years. FBA Judah, we got smoke. No, we don't, Negro. I don't know you. Yeah, Fidelity have the lowest fees. I mean, but a lot of these things now have zero fund fees, whatever, with all that. Somebody says, thank you. We will consult with American experts, but you're in Africa. Stick to the crypto shit. Yeah, that's right. I am in Africa. And that's why I will tell you that most of y'all don't have y'all shit together in America because you down bad. Most of y'all don't have a 401, 50 in Africa trying to start a business for the first time, ain't never ran the business, and you come out here and then you struggle. What if you don't have 5 or 10 years? I mean, tomorrow's not promised. But almost anything that you're going to work on takes about 5 to 10 years. That's kind of what it is. There's nothing, if you're going to move to another country, any business is going to take at least 3 years. Coming to another country to understand is going to take you at least 5 years. You sound like an op. Hold on, FBA Judah. Let me go ahead on and shalom you up. Peace, peace, family, family. The Most High. Let me go ahead and the Most High you up. There you go. Yeah, you need America is your best foundation, family. You're gonna have a hard time here if America is not. A lot of stuff you do in America can help you get here easier. All right, look, I gotta go. I can't lie, I'm struggling. I got $25,000 and have no idea how to invest it. Put it in an index fund. If you have money and you don't know how to invest it, go talk to Fidelity, Vanguard, park your money into an index fund or to a CD or something. The last thing you want to do is call T3andMe and say you got $25,000 and you don't know how to invest it. They're going to be like, oh, really? If you don't know how to invest it, put your money into an index fund or 2-year or 3-year CD or something. Set it and forget it. Absolutely. SP5 never. Don't call nobody on YouTube and tell them you got $25,000 unless you're going to record the conversation and put it on YouTube. You tell a damn YouTube scammer that you about to. I got money. Oh, you do? Yes. If you have $25,000, set it in the index fund until you get enough information and just let it. It's better than doing nothing. I'm telling you, Africa, it's a learning curve. All right, family, look. Dollar Will, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. Yeah, you got time. Stop. Don't let nobody think that you gotta just jump on the Africa train right now. You guys, I'm gonna tell you something else. Here's another thing too. I'll give you some more game. Press 1 if you want some more game. Press 1. Press 1. I'll give you one more tip. Press 1. Okay. So, African countries of your choice, all right? Here's what you can do. If I was to do it all over again, I would get involved with embassies that I wanted to come to. Okay? This will speed your process up a lot. If you want to come to Uganda, which you can do that, but what you can do is get in contact with embassies. Get in contact with embassies. That's free. So if you want to come to African country, why don't you get in contact with embassies? The Nigerian embassy, they have get-togethers. That don't cost you anything. The Ugandan embassies don't cost you anything. You can have a good learning curve by just rolling with the embassies, and you can also get opportunities with embassies. For example, like in the UK, they have Miss Uganda Beauty Pageant in the UK. There's a very popular rum here called Kakira rum. They're in Uganda. They're out there in the UK. They're distributing. There's import export opportunities. You have these countries will have trade fairs in America. America is a big distribution market. So before you come here, why don't you find a Nigerian embassy closest to you and get connected? And get connected. You know, you'll find the opportunity how to even serve that diaspora in the United States. If I were to be in like Massachusetts, because like I said, a lot of the diaspora, like in Uganda, for example, they bring their singers, their artists to Boston, right? You'll see them they'll bring their artists to Dubai. Every diaspora has get-togethers. Kenya, they very big in Dallas Fort Worth. So if you want to go to Kenya, start hitting up these. Listen, I'm interested in your country. Can you help me? Yes. Why don't you come through? Here's why. Boom, 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 boom. And you'll find out what the country needs. Right. You'll get more information, you'll meet more legit people in the embassies than you will meet here on the ground. Because once you get here on the ground, you're going to be down bad. You're going to be meeting. But if you're in these diaspora, like if you're in the Liberian embassy in America, you're going to get connected with the professional class. You're going to get connected with people that can really help you, people who will really give you sound advice and stuff. And so you're already going to be dealing with a higher quality of people than when you come here. Because when you come here, there is high quality people, but it's going to be very difficult for you to just meet them. Most people are just not going to want to meet with you because you're from a Black American from St. Louis or whatever, right? But if you are already meeting up with people, you might come in getting recommended for something. So if I were to meet up with an embassy and let's say I did customer service trainings, I might try to organize things for the embassy. Like, hey, okay, like work with the embassy. I see y'all don't have a website. I see the website is not doing good. And I will still try to, I will start trying to add value within the embassy. Oh, okay. Well, who did X, Y, and Z? Or let's say Sherry did it. Now you're being helpful within the embassies. So now when you come to you come from DC, New York, you're coming to Uganda. Now people already look at you as somebody that's tied and that's already tried and tested. You're already serving the diaspora. You might say, listen, I'm reckoning, here we have a problem with some procedures. I feel like we're not able to, do X, Y, and Z. You might start adding on what they're not doing, and it might actually help that particular embassy be better. And that could be an opportunity too. And then so now when you come in, you're coming in with connections, you're coming in with a contact from an embassy into Africa. You coming in as somebody that somebody needs now versus you coming here, starting over, you dealing with the power outages, you're dealing with all of that stuff. And then you could have already been adding value from what was going on by just hanging out with the diaspora for a year and that embassy in Boston and the embassy in New York City, embassy in Belgium, embassy in the UK. And you could have already started being valuable there. In doing things for the country of choice there. And so now you can come in and use your whatever you can to make things better for them. And now you're coming in being valuable. Yes, you're finding a way to be helpful before you even come here. So now when you come to Africa, you're coming in with some momentum. Thank you for the super chat. Traverse culture. Yeah, Houston is a big place for Africans. Dallas is a big place. So if they have embassies, get connected into those embassies and ask them, hey, I'm interested in, moving here. What can I do? And work with those embassies for 1 or 2 years, 3 years before you move here. You want to deal in Africa, start dealing with Africans in America first. I mean, if you was coming to Africa, that's what I would do. If I was coming to Africa, I would try to find if I knew I was coming to Uganda, I would try to find the closest embassy to me and try to be involved in that embassy try to figure out what I can do to help the embassy. I would try to be like that. What are your recommendations for retirees that want to move to Nigeria? I've been to Nigeria once. I don't know where in Nigeria you want to go. I don't. That's a very vague question. I would say you would talk to a Nigerian. I would call the Nigerian embassy in your city or closer to you, and then try to ask that question. And then I'm gonna tell you what, if they don't have the answer to the question, once you find out the question, I will say, hey, listen, this is the question. I would talk to the Nigerian embassy. This is the question I'm getting from people in the diaspora that want to retire here. Is there a way we could put this on the website? Is this the way we can build? I would do it for free. I would build that whole questionnaire list for them for free to add value to that embassy if I were you. Sherry Beckley, thank you for the game. Yeah, so you got to figure out a way to get in like that. Use your mind and think out of the box. Does it make sense? Because all you need to do before coming to Africa, in African country, is to get a year. Get a year of what does the embassy need? What is the diaspora going through? Most black Americans or anybody, even if you're Ugandan American, whatever, you could be around and say, okay, where does my skill set match? I see they're not doing this, see they're not doing that. Okay, cool. So now let me see what I can do. So hey, I would this is what I want to do. Help y'all. You can start, let's say, for example, like a food thing. You could be a person, let me say, for example, like this. You live in Atlanta, right? You want to come to Uganda, and they have a Ugandan thing. You might be a party planner. You might introduce a Ugandan food festival in Atlanta. Start off small, right? Now you're not even a Ugandan person, but let's say by year 2 or 3, it starts picking up. Now Ugandans from all across the country start coming there, and you're a part of it. It's your festival. You help it to be your festival, whatever like that. Now, by the time you come to you organize these things. You come to Uganda, you're known for doing those things. There might be an opportunity in the culture where they might be missing something, and you might be able to add on to it for them and make it better. You don't have to necessarily be able to speak the language to see, oh, this is actually good. Why don't we do this? Oh, okay. I wasn't thinking about it like that. Oh, talking about Captain Troy. Right. I would start trying to add value in the diaspora. Like I said, I would try to start working with people in the diaspora. I would hang out with Zoom meetings if I were you. Investment like Liberia. Liberia is really good. They got like Liberia. They have certain get-togethers. They have Zoom meetings. They have call-in talk shows. I would get immersed in all of that because there's opportunities and all that. Then that's your connection to the African diaspora in America. Then you have your own community in America with the Black American community, right? So now you're coming with established communities. It's harder for you to fail in Africa if you have both of those things. Whereas me, I came to Uganda trying to figure it out, and now I'm trying to you know, win Uganda now and go back to the opposite way. So does it make sense? Does it make sense? Come to Thailand, skip the states. Uganda is the most beautiful country, but all Africans are poor before you have. Thank you, Zarai. Roma. You're an immigrant in Africa. Yes, I am. All right. So again, I'm gonna make a better video about this. I'm gonna make a better video about this, a pre-recorded video. And again, a lot of this stuff don't necessarily, don't look at spending your money. You have to spend your time. Don't always thinking about dealing with someone in Africa. Because to be honest, Africa don't necessarily always need your money, but you need to have your understanding. Even in the black community, it's the same principle. If I was in Black America, which actually is my, is my pride and joy, I would do the same things I'm doing in Africa in Black America. I would just try to organize. I would just try to, use ways to bring things together that I didn't see. It's the same concept and repeat. So it doesn't. But if I was like living in St. Louis, I'm not from St. Louis. It would take me about a year to get to understand the culture of how blacks in St. Louis are. They have different customs than what we have in California, like the blacks in New Orleans. They got second line, right? Blacks in New Orleans are a different culture. It's similar but not the same. Blacks on the East Coast, that's different culture. So if I'm in a new city, new state, I would sit back and try to just gauge, okay, how do I fit in? If I don't have the skills, I would try to find out and get it. Then I would try to figure out how I could add value to this, what I can do. Shay, what is it are you trying to build, brother? I'm building my studio here. Y'all know I got the Pan African Dating Show. So, we've had 3 events this year. So I'm trying to build the biggest speed dating intellectual property in the black world on planet Earth. So it's the same concept. You try to understand just the community first. See how things move, and see what you can do. And a lot of times, being a black American, what you add a lot of times is speed and transparency. Not that Africans are corrupt or anything all the time, but like I said, it's just a lot of people in Africa are slow and things get bogged down, a lot of bureaucracy. Black Americans can kind of cut through that, right? So projects move faster with, Black American, kind of just trained mentality. A lot of Africans that live in America and come back to Africa, when they're in America, they may still be fast. Getting back to Africa, they kind of revert back to being, kind of just the bureaucratic way. So Black Americans are kind of are more aggressive in pushing the deal through, like closing it quicker, right? Closing it, customer service, improving, trying to kind of improving the customer experience more so than Africans do. So, kind of making sure like, we kind of go down the pipeline and making things happen. Being more, we're kind of like that, right? We like speed. Americans like speed. Africans are kind of okay with, that's kind of what happened with Essence Fest. You had a lot of, unfortunately, they was kind of starting late. Essence Fest typically in New Orleans, there's more speed, right? So that's kind of where we in the private sector, when we come into Ghana, things like that, we kind of trying to move it, trying to speed it up. We like less bureaucracy. We don't like more bureaucracy. Africans are more bureaucratic than us. And sometimes that's, that we make business doing, we like the ease of business to be faster. That's kind of where we improve. We make it easier to do business. We make it faster and more corrupt sometimes. So I gotta go, family. It's already 2 hours. Yeah, business moves slow here. You can have money here and you can't get anything done. So that's kind of where, we kind of like to You know, if we can make it happen quicker, we'll make it happen quicker. Negotiating, for example. Let me just tell you this. If you go to the market, an African can argue in the market for 30 minutes over 50 cents. Not just a broke African, a rich African. It can happen. A middle class or well-to-do African for 50 cents can negotiate back and forth over something. And that's cultural, that's normal. A black American ain't got time, man. What you want? Okay, here you go. Like, we value our that time for us. We could have been doing something else. That's American mentality in general. But that's not necessarily Africans, right? Africans, that's a part of negotiating business deals is meeting up once, meeting up more than once, right? And so black Americans come to Africa, they'll say we're being overcharged, but really we're paying for to have that hour back versus, you understand what I'm saying? So those are nuances that we catch. We would rather be overcharged than to be negotiating for an hour. I would. If you're going to overcharge me 3 hours, I can make a lot of money doing YouTube videos. Look, here go $5, take it. In fact, I will pay you that $5 to, you know, like when I go to the bank, I will tip a bank teller $5 to $10 if he can get me in quicker than me to be in a queue and wait 2-3 hours. I'll let them know I'm there tricking. Because we value speed. Africans by nature don't necessarily always value speed. You know, we like more speed. We got shit to do, right? And we don't want to, if we don't have to be there, Africans like things done fast too. They're just not willing to pay for it all the time. We are willing to pay for that shit. We are willing to pay extra for the shit to be faster. Like what? How, can I get in right now? Yes. Okay, here's $20. Give me in here and let me get the fuck out. Cool. We done bought ourselves another 2 hours. We would love that. And Africans don't necessarily, even Africans who are been in the diaspora, they don't necessarily think like that. Because some people are just tight-fisted. But that's an advantage that we have. We are willing to pay to get our time back. Not everybody will. We have the right to criticize, but we also, yes, son, journey, exactly, and that's all we got. That's all we saying. We, you know, this is our opportunity too. So, like I said, we have to have serious discussions that make sense. And if we can't have honest conversations without somebody saying you hating or you mad or you a spy or you want to bring the black man down or you want to be a black woman down, it's not going to work. Because nobody wants to be always told that, oh, you are a hater or whatever. People's spirits get dampened with that shit. Like no, keep it, like, tell the truth. So, guys, I got to go. I'm going to work on that video. But again, check out the embassies. Check out the embassies. African embassies are really, really welcoming towards black Americans, believe it or not. A lot of people really are flattered that you want to know. Like, I'm going to say this before I go. You think that, like, oh, Africans don't like you, whatever. No, go to embassies. I mean, embassies are kind of rude sometimes, like the Nigerian embassies, but they're rude to everybody. But don't let that stop you. Nigerian embassies, I'm sorry. Y'all are rude to everyone. I think if Jesus got off the cross, you rude to him. But most embassies, if you're trying to learn, most embassies will help you. Almost like 99% of them. 99% of them, if you call like Liberia embassy, even the ones that's francophone, yeah, they'll be, I mean, everybody. And go, baby, how you doing? Yeah, most embassies, yeah, Chinese, yeah, Nigerian embassies are rude to everybody. Damn near everybody. But don't take that personal though. If you can get into the Nigerian embassy, you got it. The Nigerian market and the Nigerian anything is the cream of the crop. If you can get into anything with dealing with Nigerian diaspora, Nigerian, you're rich forever. Anybody dealing with Nigeria, anything in Africa. I mean, Black American community is number one in the Black world, but Nigerian anything is you're rich forever. Nigerian anything, you're rich forever. Kenyan anything, rich forever almost. South African, but Nigerian anything, it's so huge. There's nobody who gets into Nigeria in anything and becomes poor. I have yet to see it. Nigeria is one of the few countries that I know that you can invest in the same year and profit in the same year. That's how crazy Nigeria is. Like you got Nigeria and then there's the rest of Africa. I'm gonna say it again. There is Nigeria and then there's everything else. That's how different Nigeria is. This guy says, as a Kenyan who lived in Texas 20 years, I can attest that Black Americans are very difficult people to deal with. The only reason why you are in Africa is because the U.S. is crumbling. Well, I'm trying to be mean to you, brother, because I love Kenyans, right? So I don't want to really be rude to you. But yeah, let me just tell you this. You guys in Kenya had a serial killer who killed 40 people. And he escaped. And y'all haven't caught him yet. So that's all I'm going to say. The fact that you have to go to Texas for 20 years tells me everything I need to know. Okay? So everybody got problems, including y'all. We got them too, but y'all. I'm pretty sure that Black Americans that met you can say the same thing about your ass. How about that? Yes. Yes, his name is, go look for the serial killer called Collins. Yeah, he killed 40 women. And then they let him out of jail. He escaped and he's out. They ain't found him. Exactly. He's down bad. Yes. Nigeria is on another level. I got to admit it. There is Nigeria and then there's everything else. That is literally how powerful Nigeria is in Africa. There is Nigeria and there's everything else. Anybody can deal with any Nigerian anything. It's crazy. Nigerians are serious about their money. They straightforward. They're not really with the bullshit. They got big networks, diaspora. Nigerians are they're not, most people don't own their shit in Africa. Like Ugandans don't really own a whole lot of Africa. Nigerians own everything. That's the one thing about West Africans, they own all their shit. There's nobody in Nigeria that's like in Uganda, you'll find everybody that's rich is like Indian, or in like also Kenyan, Tanzania, different. But there's no richest person in Nigeria Indian. Never. Hey, Bomb Cherry, how you doing, boo? Nigerians will not accept that. Ghana also. One thing about West Africans, all the richest people gonna be them. That's the one thing I love about them. For sure. They have all their distribution. They have all their networks. They got huge diasporas in the UK. They got huge diasporas in America. Yeah, Nigeria is they have a very, 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 very really good thing going on. Nigeria is very, 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 very good. They have problems, but hard to beat. Hard to beat. They got everything. So for those I be hating Nigeria, I'm giving y'all the props. Nigeria got everything. Everything. I've been there, I've seen it. Everything. Everything. Yeah, Nigeria is just, it's on another level. Yeah. So, Ghana's good, but it's not Nigeria. Nothing is Nigeria. Benin, nothing is Nigeria. I don't know about Benin, but nothing is nothing is Nigeria. But it's in this order. Nigeria, Rwanda is small, it's good, but don't just look at the country. Look at the how big the diaspora is. When you want to look at a country, you need to pick a country, I'll say, that's really like fairly large, right? Because the bigger the population of the country, the more likely that person can be in the States. If it's Rwanda, you may need some French. If it's Burundi, it's some French maybe. If it's Nigeria, it's not necessarily that. But you want to be able to at least be able to get into the pockets of where the diaspora is. So if you live on the East Coast is pretty much good for all the countries. Kenya, Rwanda, Uganda. If you live in DC, Maryland, Virginia, it's the best area. Best area is if you DC, Maryland, Virginia, right? If you live there. Atlanta, New York City, harder areas, Cali. Because most Africans is DC, DMV, Dallas, Fort Worth, Houston, Atlanta. But if you can operate in them pockets, you can find people throughout. Yeah, but if you in DMV, you can get into through the DMV through most African countries. You're good. Most people are not going to Nigeria because Nigeria is hella big. But like I said, Nigeria is a shit. I've been there. I had a lot of fun. It is what it is. You know, it is what it is. Nigeria is the go. It is the meal. Now these other places are good too. Like I'm in Uganda. Uganda is pretty good too, but Uganda is kind of harder to penetrate. All right, family. Look, I already got to go this time. Bye.